Hi! In this video today we're going to talk about the difference between whole plant foods and processed plant foods.
Nowadays you hear the term plant-based everywhere. Plant-based burgers, plant-based yogurts, plant-based milks. But are these healthy? Burger King has the Rebel Whopper. McDonald's has the plant lettuce tomato burger. Everybody is coming online with their version of a plant-based burger. The Impossible Burger hit the scene last year, as well as the Beyond Burger. So let's take a look at the Impossible Burger and the Beyond Burger and see what makes it unhealthy and processed. We have to first take a look at the ingredients. And the first thing you probably notice of both these burgers is that they're highly processed items, and they are both full of oil. If you look at the nutrition label, you see that the Impossible Burger is 27% fat. The Beyond Burger is 31% fat, and they both are high in saturated fat, a fat you really don't want to be consuming at all. Then we take a look at fiber. Fiber is the good thing. We want fiber. And the Impossible Burger doesn't even have fiber in it. The Beyond Burger has 3 grams of fiber. Another factor we are looking at is salt or sodium. We typically look at salt to see if it's high in salt or sodium by comparing it to a 1-to-1 ratio. 1-to-1 meaning, in this case, calories for the Impossible Burger are 290 calories. And if you look at the sodium, it's 570, which is almost twice the amount. We're looking for sodium being under that 290 per serving. Now let's take a look at a popular burger, the Boca Burger, which is considered plant-based. We take a look at the calories. The calories are low. The fat is much lower than the Impossible and Beyond Burger. The fiber is higher. But here again, we take a look at the sodium. The sodium is like 3 times as much as the calories. And what makes this one even worse is if we go into the ingredients, we see soy protein concentrate. That's another way of saying soy protein isolate. It's a highly concentrated form of soy protein, which does cause problems for humans. It's not a good thing to consume on a frequent basis. And when you hear horror stories about soy protein, this is what they're talking about, soy protein isolate. Eating tofu, eating tempeh, eating edamame, soybeans, totally okay. But when you extract things out, make them hyper-processed, that causes problems. And if you look at the rest of the ingredients, most of these ingredients, you don't even know what they are. That is a processed thing. We don't need that. And on top of all this, it has added caramel color, sesame oil, methyl cellulose, which is a kind of fiber extracted that they put in. These things aren't needed and aren't health foods. Somebody today was just asking me about crackers. Are crackers okay on the challenge? And actually, we try to avoid having crackers on the challenge. Crackers is sort of a snacking thing, and it causes us to eat more than we really need to. They specifically asked about lentil crackers, and you think, well, lentil, that's plant-based, that sounds good. But if we take a look at this one, this lentil cracker, it has lentil flour in it, corn flour in it, potato starch, milk, protein, dairy, palm oil, more oil, has cane sugar and whey protein. Whey protein comes from milk, from dairy, so it's not a good thing. It has cream in it. All these things are things we're trying to avoid. And if you look at this, here again, 120 calories, sodium is 150 milligrams. These aren't health foods. This is what gets us into trouble all the time. The same person asked me about cauliflower crackers. I didn't know that was a thing, but it is. And if you take a look at this one, the sodium is extremely high. It has 8% saturated fat. It has added sugar in it. The fiber isn't all that much there, and a lot of processed flours, cassava flour. It does have whole grain rice flour, which we do like whole grain things, but we prefer to have them in the natural state. This is full of oil. Sunflower lecithin is a kind of oil. To up their fiber content, they add rice fibers in it. And lactic acid comes from milk. These aren't health foods. They aren't good for you. So we ask that you avoid crackers during the challenge. Who doesn't like a good kombucha, nice and fizzy? Someone asked just the other day, can I drink kombucha during this? Well, to make kombucha, you typically need some form of sugar, whether it's in the fruit juice or whatever, but there's sugar in it. A lot of them have added sugar in it. And if you look at this ingredient label, yes, it doesn't have that much sodium, but it doesn't have that much else going for it either. 11 grams of sugar, which is a high amount of sugar. And your body doesn't look at this any different, whether it's good fruit juice or not. It has no fiber, so the sugar gets processed immediately as sugar. When you drink this, your body says, oh, sugar's coming in, and you get insulin spikes. It's not beneficial. Yes, it may be delicious, but we ask that you don't have that for the challenge either. Many people like to use some sort of spread on bread or on potatoes, a margarine type thing, a butter type thing. And a lot of people gravitate to the plant-based shortenings that are out there, such as Earth Balance or Mayoko's butter. All margarines, all butters, all items like that are nothing but fat, and we really don't need added fat in our diet, and we don't want added fat in our diet. Earth Balance here, you take a look, the sodium is over the minimum, the fat and saturated fat are way up there. If you look at the ingredients, it's just oil and fat. It's something that is not a health food. It does affect our cholesterol. We avoid it. We all like a good tomato sauce to go over our pasta, but it's hard to buy a store-bought brand that doesn't have added sugar or added fat. Here's a common one, Rao's homemade sauce. The ingredients are actually pretty good. There is no added salt, but right there, second ingredient is olive oil, and olive oil is not needed. So you'll find us making our own sauce very easily, and we'll share a link to a video that shows you how to make your own marinara sauce pretty quickly and easily. So what we're basically asking is keep to whole plant foods, avoid the processed foods, avoid the dairy, avoid the oil, and avoid meat products for the challenge.